These are co-star records. I got a handful of them. They all have a different performer, and you would act opposite them with a script that is enclosed inside here. This was a pretty popular type of thing at this point in time. I know there's a scene in the movie The Rebel Set where somebody is acting opposite a record like this.
I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
I'll swear I'll cuff you if you strike me again.
So you may lose your arms.
And I know Mystery Science Theater 3000 did a parody of a very similar type of record.
So I ordered a series of acting lessons on records from the So You Want to Act Institute of Acting.
Oh, it says co-starring with Scott Baio, you.
Wow. Yeah.
Now they had 15 different stars that you could act opposite. Now, there were a lot of gimmick records around this time. There were party records that were supposedly recorded live at a party, and you would put them on during your party so your party sounded like a better party. There also was the very famous Guy Lombardo New Year's Eve album, which says right on it to put the record on side B at 15 minutes and 2 seconds before midnight. And then when it gets to the end, it'll do Happy New Year at the exact right time, and they'll all cheer, and you'll hear it in your house. Here's Cesar Romero. He is the first one in the set. He played the Joker in the Batman TV series. Was also a very famous heartthrob. I got the script here. This is what it looks like, just stapled together. It's interesting. On my version, somebody's handwritten information about the distributor. Am I supposed to read these words?
It's nice when you get a formal introduction to an eligible man you'd like to know. It's nice, but it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it happens like this. You play the part of the girl, sitting alone in a neighborhood tavern, when the man, played by Cesar Romero, wanders in for a quick drink.
Hey, Mac, fill her up again. Thanks.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
What?
What'd you say?
I said I beg your pardon.
Well, sure. But what for?
Would you be so kind as to pass the pretzels?
Oh, of course. Here you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
What is?
Who's lonely? No. Millions of people in the city, and you sit here lonely.
Who's lonely?
You and me.
So we're lonely, so what?
No one likes to be lonely.
So you get used to it.
I don't think anyone ever gets used to pain. You learn to live with it, but I don't think you ever really get used to it, Cesar Romero.
Hey, again, huh?
Oh. You're thirsty. That's why you're doing that. 3 I counted.
It's the funniest approach I ever saw.
Approach?
Yeah, skip it. You want a drink? On me?
Ooh, I don't drink.
You don't drink? And what are you doing here?
Like I said, I'm lonely.
Well, I'm not going to be much good to you. Gives me a funny feeling.
What does?
Take up with the girl I meet the way I met you.
Hey,
What do you say we take in a movie? Would you like that?
Like it? I'd love it.
Well, come on then. What are we waiting for?
An introduction, maybe, huh?
Well, could be. Come on, let's get going.
I fell in love with Cesar Romero. All right, let's try. Let's go right back to the beginning. Scene 1. This one's called Hide and Seek.
Co-Star presents Mr. Cesar Romero in scenes written especially for you. There are no statistics on the matter, but the chances are there is more money stashed away in the family cookie jars than in all the savings banks in the world. Early one morning, thinking his wife was still safely asleep, Goyo, played by Cesar Romero, is quietly but very busily trying to find in just which jar she kept their family fortune. You play Lupe's wife.
I'm married to Cesar Romero.
Somewhere. Yeah, I thought you were asleep.
I am sure of it, but I am awake and up. What do you think you're doing here?
I thought...
Yes?
I thought
You already said that.
I would get the breakfast this morning.
Of what? Beans, raisins, brown sugar, rice?
You have all those things here? You are spending too much money. And what I wish to spend the money on is not your business.
Not my business. When our children get ready for school and there's no money, then whose business will that be? Answer me that.
I was not going to take it all, only...
And when you are old, who will care for us? And we don't save...
Enough, old woman. You speak as if I was robbing us of all we own. A man works, he is entitled to something for himself, with no explanations from anyone.
Take it. Go ahead. Take all of it. I wash my hands of the entire responsibility from here on.
Take it?
Yes, take it.
Very well. But where is it?
You know very well. You were after it when I came in and caught you.
I was, huh? Was I?
About to take it from the sugar bowl. I saw you with my very eyes. Take it, with my blessing. Spend every cent. And we'll see where we end up. In the poorhouse in all probability.
Ay, madre mía. Women. Uno, dos.
He's taking our money. He's taking it where?
Jose. That bottle of perfume I was pricing yesterday.
For who?
Ifra, please. She has not remembered it, but today is the birthday of my wife.
Well, no wonder I didn't remember it. I got no money. I don't need perfume. This is June Havoc. She was not as famous as Cesar Romero, but she was a well-known stage actress. She also appeared on General Hospital in the 1990s. This is Fernando Lamas. He's number 2 in the set. You have probably seen Billy Crystal's parody of him on Saturday Night Live in Fernando's Hideaway, where he would go, "You look marvelous." That was him doing a parody of this. Also, the man who does the most interesting man in the world for those Dos Equis commercials says he's doing a parody of Fernando Lamas as well. Fernando's ex-wife Arlene Dahl was number 3 in the set. She was an actress who appeared in many TV and movies. She was in Journey into the Center of the Earth. Next up, George Raft. He was the original Scarface way before Al Pacino. He also was in the movie Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe. He often would play gangster characters. Sir Cedric Hardwicke was a very famous Shakespearean actor. Celebrated actor Basil Rathbone, very famous for playing Sherlock Holmes on radio and in a series of films. Virginia Mayo is next. She would have been very famous to audiences of the day. She was Warner Brothers' top star from the 1940s. Tallulah Bankhead is next. She was very famous in a lot of movies. I remember her most from the Hitchcock film Lifeboat. Number 10, they don't get much bigger than Vincent Price. This is Paulette Goddard. She was very famous for marrying Charlie Chaplin and starring opposite him in Modern Times and other films. Number 12 is a very young Don Amici. I better remember him from his old age when he appeared in films like Trading Places. Number 13 is an odd one. It's Jimmy Rogers, the father of country music. Next up, we have the very famous singer Pearl Bailey. And the last one on the list is Slapsie Maxie Rosenbloom. He's a very famous boxer. He did appear in some films. I'm hopeful that there is a part for a boy in this one. We'll see. Here is my script. Now this one is finished with staples on the side.
Co-Star presents Slapsie Maxie Rosenbloom in scenes written especially for you.
As you all know by now, I am a thespian. I have done all types of plays.
So this is Slapsie.
Including the classics. And in case you don't believe me, this is the story of how I became a famous Shakespearean actor. A producer was putting together a touring company of Romeo and Juliet. My agent heard about it and sent me up to see the casting director. In the scene, I play me. You play the casting director, a girl. I come to see about the job.
What job?
My agent told me you wanted a classy actor, so here I am.
We asked for a classical actor.
What's the difference, classy, classical? With me, you get them both.
I'm sorry, we wanted a leading man. Perhaps your agent didn't understand.
I'm a leading man. What else? Look at that profile. Neat, huh? Dashing, huh? You want a leading man? I'm him. Maxie Rosenbloom, at your service.
Well, Mr. Rosenbloom, since you're here, are you familiar with Romeo and Juliet?
Please, lady, what's your language?
I'm talking about the play Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
Mr. Rosenbloom, I haven't had time to play games. Would you mind reading for me?
Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as a wingless messenger from heaven.
Winged.
Look, you, I don't like interruptions. You ain't dealing with no amateur. So let's continue. Come on, you take the next line.
O Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny my father and refuse thy name, or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. That was your cue.
That's the second time you've said that. You used to work in a pool room?
Okay, hold on. He botched the line, and they didn't do another take. I botched the line. I get that, but he botched the line. They could have done another take. I guess I could have too.
You used to work in a pool room?
We're taking the scene.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I will never be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus be screened in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
My name this ain't this hateful to myself.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore?
No, we won't go on, madam. I'm afraid I shall have to say some very harsh words to you.
Yes?
Madam, I do not believe you have the proper respect for talent. I'm afraid you have Satan preconceptions of the play. Continentally with false ideas, premises, which would never enable us to complete a successful artistic union. Good day, madam.
Wait, that's it. What a performance, Mr. Rosenbloom. Why didn't you do that sooner? What a performance, such dignity, such poise. Mr. Rosenbloom, you shall have the contract. You shall play Romeo.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I became a Shakespearean actor and probably the greatest Romeo since Shakespeare.
Ladies and gentlemen, the acting stylings of one Slapsie Maxie Rosenbloom. So you probably caught the joke at the end of that. He said he was the greatest Romeo since Max Baer. Now, Max Baer was another professional fighter who did appear in some movies. Actually, his son, Max Baer Jr., was Jethro on the Beverly Hillbillies. But Max Baer Sr., great pugilist, and appeared in a handful of movies with Slapsie Maxie. And the two of them actually became a comedy duo and toured the country doing comedy. But they appeared in a couple movies together, and they were really good friends, so it was kind of a fun little dig at a buddy of his. Now we move to June Havoc, and I've got some bad news. There's no script in here. Now, it does say on the back, this is the instructions for your co-star record. Remove the script, so I can't do that. Turn to any scene you want to play. Place the phonographic needle on the corresponding groove on the record. Got it. But then go all the way down to number 6, and it says, follow the script, but you may add, change, or improvise your lines as much as you wish. So I'm going to improvise all of my lines as I act opposite June Havoc in the scene Bed of Fire.
In the following scene, you play Colette, a domestic servant, hired to care for the invalid wife of an attractive, wealthy Frenchman. The wife has just called you into her sitting room. Despite the cheerful glow of the bed of hot coals in the fireplace, you feel cold and uneasy. Miss June Havoc plays the wife. She speaks first.
Okay.
My dear, sit down. Here, by the fire. You've been working much too hard.
Yeah, you know I have.
Still up at 6 o'clock this morning. Poor child. Sit down.
All right. I'm sitting. We're good. I'm going to look at the coals here. I like these flaming hot coals.
Nonsense, my dear. You take work too seriously.
It's
sit
true.
down. It was nice of you to come in these past few weeks,
Hey.
Clive.
It was nice of me. You were ill.
My husband appreciates it.
Hey,
too.
your
He
husband
told-
appreciates a lot of me. I'll tell you that. Colette is like hot. You know, like I'm like really attractive.
Poke it up a little. You're so close. Give the coals a
Poke it
turn.
up a little
It'll
bit.
be even cozier then.
Ooh, let's get cozy. Hey, June Havoc. So,
Never mind. Leave it. Has anyone ever told you, my dear Colette, how pretty you are?
oh, well, you know, I mean, some people do. As an
Such a nice figure, too.
I do.
The kind of figure I had once.
Oh,
My husband used to tell me how much he adored it.
yes, your husband told me.
On and on about my tiny waist and my ample bosom. The ideal pillow for a lover's head, he would say. Praise of my beauty fell from his lips constantly.
Yes, I can imagine it did, June Havoc. No, I mean, you were really attractive.
You stare so at the coals.
Because
Why?
I don't want to stare at anything else. Look, I'm getting rather uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I can
really?
read the
How
coals.
interesting.
I can look
Can
at
you
them.
read
And,
them now?
yeah, I can read, like, the future from
Why
looking
not?
at coals. I mean, I can't do that.
Well, then, let's stir them again. Here, let's take the poker and stir
Okay,
them good.
all right. Now I can read them like Frollo did in the Hunchback of
shouldn't
Notre
I?
Dame. Hey, don't go in the fire.
No, you stay where you are.
Oh, anyway,
Oh, wouldn't he?
your husband wouldn't like this.
What's come over me?
Yeah, what's come over? Good question.
You? How dare you think you could make love
What?
to my husband in this house?
I did not do
without
that.
my finding out.
Dude, that didn't happen last night.
In the morning.
You
and
know.
You're still with him. You cheap little...
No. How dare you? It's very rude. Me and your
Yes,
husband.
I know.
How did you know about me and your husband, June Havoc? How did you know? Who told you? Did you catch me? Did you see me? What was there the clue really in the fire? How did you find out, June Havoc? Tell me. I'm not good at vamping.
Of course I'll forgive you, you poor little thing. So put upon by that beastly husband of mine. My heart goes out to you. And so does this poker.
Ah! June Havoc is branding me. Ah, I'm in pain. June Havoc, it hurts so much. Can I
Let me help you, my
get
dear.
me
Don't
medical
stumble
attention?
around like that, you might trip and fall into the fire. Here, let me help you, you precious darling.
Ah!
Down like this.
Face down in the fire. June Havoc, I'm in terrible pain.
Yes.
And that is how June Havoc killed me. It's interesting. It says all the original scenes on each of my albums was written by Jack Ragazzi. I think this is the same guy, and he was born 1921 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Does not have a lot of writing credits. He actually has a lot of acting credits, all like small parts in some big shows though. Dragnet, Get Smart, I Spy. As a writer, he's got 2 shows, On Camera and Encounter, which I don't know what Encounter is, but maybe it was similar to this. And then he also directed a play of the week on television. Now, on some of these, it says that they were narrated by Ed Stokes. And I was able to find a little bit of information on Ed. He did narration for a couple short films right around the same time that these albums would have come out. I'm guessing he was a radio guy. All the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. Now, through the recorded magic of this fascinating new game, Co-Star, Shakespeare's immortal words take an entertaining new meaning. Co-Star is a game that brings your favorite stars into the comfort of your own home and gives you a real opportunity to act real scenes opposite this famous personality. I like these. This is pretty cool. By the way, big thanks to everybody on Patreon, especially Michael and Jessica. You can join Patreon for just $3 and I'll send you a postcard in the mail every month. It's pretty great. I have postcards coming up for the Movie Land Wax Museum, which was in Buena Park, California. These are some vintage postcards. I don't think Slapsie Maxie was in there. Pretty sure June Havoc wasn't. Cesar Romero, though, I'm pretty sure was in that museum. That museum was just full of classic stars. I did a video all about it, and I'm going to put it right up here. Otherwise, YouTube says that is what is best for you. Do they know what's best for you? Is it that? Maybe it's that. Otherwise, you can click on the other channel, go watch something altogether new. Either way, I'll see you next time.